Good morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on local politics. My first guest serves as a Wisconsin State Representative for the 17th District in the Wisconsin State Assembly. It is a pleasure to welcome back to Our Issues Representative David Crowley. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for having me.
Always a pleasure. Now, the last time you were here, you were campaigning for office, and it's been pretty much almost a year.
Almost a year, about 10 months.
Okay, so tell us, how has it been thus far?
It's been interesting. I'm definitely enjoying myself. No 2 days are alike, but right now it's building as many relationships as possible and fighting all the bad things that directly affect the city of Milwaukee. But we're continuing to fight as a caucus. We're getting folks together, and we're going to do everything that we can to bring some resources back to the city of Milwaukee.
I love that, and I see you all around making a difference. So
I'm trying.
Definitely got your hands in the pies, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Right? You're currently serving as the chair of the Milwaukee County Democratic Caucus, and then a few of the committees that you're serving on include criminal justice, jobs and economy, and public safety, to name a few. With public safety in mind, over the past 8 years, the city's been seeing a 73% increase in traffic fatalities, and then there's a 60% drop in traffic citations. Very interesting numbers there. Exactly. And this whole notion of reckless driving has become an issue for everybody who's on the roads. Several weeks ago, you held a press conference at Milwaukee City Hall, and you were surrounded by several members of the Milwaukee Common Council. And I need you to kind of spell out what you are proposing.
Well, what we're proposing is to actually lift a ban to actually allow us to use traffic cameras to actually catch speeders, but also red light runners. It was amazing to have 11 out of the 15 Common Council members there to help support this. But we know that we need to put everything that we have on the table to figure out how to stop this growing epidemic. And we know that traffic cameras can do that.
Yeah. Well, the Automated Traffic Enforcement Act is what it's called. This is, you're pushing for a 5-year pilot program, right? So tell us more about how it would work.
Well, what we're doing is we're going to take some data, see where we're having some of the most accidents happening throughout the city. We're going to basically put up, give the city the ability to put up speed cameras, but also red light cameras. The speed cameras, you'll have to do more than 20 miles per hour before you get clocked and be sent a ticket. With the red light cameras, this is really to stop those individuals who are literally running red lights recklessly. And it's important to also state that every camera will make sure to have some type of sign there so folks know what's going on. But we're doing everything that we can to really, curb this epidemic. We won't stop it, but we can hopefully make people think twice when it comes down to not running these red lights.
Yeah, because when you think about some of the stories that we've seen in the news recently, people just driving crazy on the roads has taken the lives of innocent people, young and old. Absolutely. And that's where it really hits home for people, and we all realize that that could have been us, you
Absolutely.
know. So my concern is we have an issue with stolen vehicles. So if you have someone who has stolen a vehicle and they go through this light, would it make a difference, because you're ultimately taking the license plate of a car and sending a ticket to the owner? Right. So that's a whole nother issue, I'm guessing.
That is a whole nother issue, but when it comes down to individuals having their car stolen, you won't get a ticket. Your car's been stolen.
Right.
But if it is your car and somebody else is driving it, yes, you will get that ticket. But it's important to understand there's a little bit of personal responsibility. Not the fact that you're getting that ticket, but whoever you loaned your car to just ran a red light, and you need to have a conversation there. But it's also important to say that with this particular bill, you have the ability to transfer a ticket if that individual is willing to accept responsibility. So we are making sure that there are ways to also appeal if you feel that this is a bogus ticket as well.
Okay, so right now, for people who are paying attention to what's going on, there is a ban of these red light enforcement cameras in the state of Wisconsin. It's not real clear why there is a ban, but there is something in the statutes that really kind of clarify why this probably is not on the books already.
Well, basically what the state statutes say is that the only way you can get a ticket is if a police officer is physically handing you a ticket, which basically stifles our ability as lawmakers to actually use innovation. I mean, we have to do everything that we can to make sure we're giving our police department the tools needed to actually stop this reckless driving that we're seeing.
And so your job in the State Assembly is to really lay the groundwork and kind of be able to get rid of those statutes, so to speak, and then pass the ball over to the Common Council to work with it from there.
Absolutely. And we're just setting the floor. We're making sure that the city doesn't use this as a general revenue generator. I think that's extremely important, but it's important that when we talk about putting these cameras up, this is no cost to the city. A company can come in and put these cameras up, and all the revenue generated from these traffic enforcement cameras will basically pay the company, and once the company has been paid, it will go all back to the City of Milwaukee.
Okay, so looking at some numbers here, a recently published study in the Journal of Safety Research demonstrated that large cities with red light cameras have 21% fewer fatal crashes caused by red light running. And for instance, you've got Chicago, where there was a 40% reduction in crashes that caused injury since 2003. And not to even mention the money that it generated. You did say you don't want it to be a money generator for the city, but Chicago generated $59 million in 151 intersections and $51 million in traffic tickets. That's pretty astonishing.
It is. It is. Yeah. I mean, if the city's when the city actually takes advantage of this, it's really going to be important that we put this money back into the police department. There's been a lot going on, so it's important that we do everything that we can to alleviate a lot of the issues that we have, especially when it comes down to funding public safety services.
And you have clarified some of the things that's under the state proposal. You said that the cameras would be placed in high-risk intersections, and that's determined by the State Department of Transportation, probably data that shows where there's a high number of crashes.
Absolutely. But the other thing is making sure that we're not saturating particular communities as well. So we're making sure that there's a cap on how many we can have in per automatic district as well, to make sure that we're not just putting all these cameras on the north side or on the east side. We want to make sure this is evenly spread out. Makes
a lot of sense to me. And those tickets would probably run, if everything follows through, $50 to $100.
It would be comparable to whatever ticket you would have received from a police officer.
Okay, so you have the Milwaukee Police Department that announced a crackdown on reckless driving, and said that this initiative targets probably 50 plus dangerous intersections throughout the city. In the first 24 hours, they issued 115 speeding citations, 7 disregards for red lights or stop signs, 70 license violations, and then 81 warnings.
Wow.
That's in the first 24 hours. So the fact that they kind of clamped down on really some of the things that were taking place, is it clear to everybody this is making a difference?
It's definitely needed, you know, and I love the fact that we now are having our police officers out cracking down on traffic enforcement, but I think it's important to talk about we need to give our police department this tool. If we give them this tool, we can have many of those officers who are out on the out doing traffic beat. We can have them in these communities really doing everything that they can to prevent crime from happening. So this is a tool to make sure that we can do everything that we can to make people not only feel safe on the streets, but also in their neighborhoods and in their homes.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that this all goes through, because it just makes a lot of sense when you look at the numbers and you look at how it would help make a difference. Then we'll just keep our eye on it and see what happens.
Absolutely.
So is there anything else that's going on with your day-to-day that you want to tell us about?
We're doing a lot. We're tackling this traffic enforcement, but we're also tackling housing. So we have an eviction prevention package to actually allow individuals who always come up short. Things happen in our lives. You might have a healthcare crisis. You may have been laid off, or you may have had your hours cut. So we want to give folks the ability to get resources in order to actually make rent to help prevent evictions. But also, when you talk about individuals with a criminal background, we want to make sure that they have the ability to move into a home. I have a staffer who's actually a felon, and he's been working in the Capitol for almost 4 years, and he was having a hard time finding housing because of his background. And even though he was over 10 years old, there was no way for him to get housing for not only him, but his twins.
Wow.
And so it's important that we tackle this particular issue as well, to make sure that when individuals have been rehabilitated and they're trying to actually make something of themselves, we need to make sure that we give them that stepping stone and give them the ability to have some housing. So if you have been convicted of any type of felony, and once you've done your time after 3 years, we shouldn't be using that against you. We want you to have the ability to live in a decent spot and provide for your family.
All right, that's good stuff, and it's very apropos for the 50th anniversary of the fair housing here in Milwaukee. So thank you very much for coming by. I really appreciate your time because, like I said, this whole subject of reckless driving is top of mind for a lot of people. So appreciate everything.
Thank you.
All right. State Representative David Crowley represents the 17th District in the Wisconsin State Assembly. You can keep up with the issues by visiting his website at davidcrowleywi.com. And when we return to our Issues Milwaukee, we'll continue our conversation about reckless driving and a few other issues that are on the table with the Milwaukee Common Council. We'll be joined by 2nd District Alderman Cavalier Johnson right after this.